Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Shadowverse. So, I played the single player off screen and it was alright, but it was definitely another hour and a half of gameplay. They're really, even only a few hours after I finished playing, I literally have nothing to really say about the content of the gameplay from what I remember. So yeah, my criticism, the only thing I can kind of say is it does seem like there's only a couple of concepts, even 4 years in, for each leader style, whereas I would have thought that there would have been 3 or 4 concepts per leader at this point. And by that I mean you have, like, particularly for this character, you have officers and commanders, which those combined are really one concept. And then there's like a group of named characters, of which there's like 3 cards, and then there's another group of named characters of which there's like 4 cards. But that's kind of it. It doesn't feel like there's a snowman concept that can really be played just from the beginning, where you could just play a lot of cards that summon a lot of snowmen. It doesn't feel like there's a goblin concept. It doesn't feel like there's a golem concept. That's the other one with G. Yeah. So it kind of just feels like you have a few options, but then you need to mix and match multiple options to make a deck that can even have the 30 cards or the 40 cards you need to have. So I think we stay with what our plan is. Isabelle here, with her spell boost in spellcraft or runecraft ability, might have some different story to tell us. But yeah, I think we'll go through like the first battle and then we'll just skip the battles after this point. After that point. Because yeah, it is repetitive that they start with this showing the morning star, frankly. Because one of these characters needs to be shown.
This is my chance.
As far as like what happens before the morning star appears. Like
now,
well before
let's see
it.
things in action.
And I guess if Orisa was jealous,
Why didn't that work?
then
That should have brought him back. He should be here.
Other girl, Erica, I believe her name was.
Who's there?
Like she
revolting.
she was guilty of murder, straight up. But if you're trying to get a 7 deadly sin out of the 8 leaders, then she probably would be most guilty of wrath. You know, just anger and violence. I guess that'd be the most equivalent of the previous character. And that does certainly open a door, because you need, theoretically, for players to be equally happy and willing to play as all 8 of the leaders. And they've already sent one backstory where one of the characters is a straight up murderer. Cold-blooded killer, which that might affect some people's decision. I don't think it would affect a lot of people's decision, because it's hardly like the story was well written enough for that to tug at people's heartstrings, but it could be a problem. Like if I came out and just told people that Erica is a cold-blooded murderer,
I guess you're looking
and
for
that
a
was the
fight.
only backstory I told, then I think a lot of people would just say, well, forget that, I won't play as her. Runecraft Harvest is the power that have spell boost. Whenever you play a spell, the spell boost cards in your hand become more powerful. A lot of these concepts, I think, would probably be better if they were simply combined into all of the playable set, so that any leader could potentially have any of the cards, since there just seems like there isn't as many cards as there should be. Which might be a good thing, because it kind of means that there really aren't any trash cards. And in all fairness, I really haven't seen any trash cards. Not at least so far, because I still have yet to figure out the balance. And when you click this, you see which one has spell boost and how much it's spell boosted. Spell boost can activate any number of times for the cards in your hand. Let's end the turn. What does this actually do, though? It does 3 damage, but then it will do 1 more, but it only does it to an enemy follower. When there's a spell boost card in your hand, it is especially important to think about the order you play cards in. It's time to play Wind Blast. Really? Is that really gonna do 5 damage? Let's see. Playing Wind Blast has activated spell boost on the lightning shooter, strengthening the effect of its fanfare. Now play your lightning shooter. Oh, I see why that was necessary.
Lightning storm.
Darn it all!
Opponent no longer has any followers. Evolve the clay golem and defeat the enemy.
You're done
See, and they're
for.
throwing in an extra evolve in this step when there really didn't need to be an extra evolve in this step, since this is just a very scripted experience.
I've prevailed again.
There might be a limiting factor in the fact that since the Forest Craft is so about getting those 1/1 fairies and summoning specifically 1/1 fairies, it probably would encroach on that gameplay concept if there was a similar thing in Swordcraft, for instance, where you summoned 1/1 officers, but you kind of need that. Like, you need an equivalent of kind of all the cards, but seems like that's not the case. Cards with spell boost effects are strengthened by playing other spells. Lightning shooter is now yours. Add it to your deck and play a story match. Alright.
What was that? The marking on its chest looked like the Morning Star. Why would it come here of all places? All the laws of nature are bending, but the one I'm trying to change.
She's trying to
All I
find the
want is
Morning
to see you
Star.
again.
She's trying to bring
I've tried
somebody back
everything.
to life.
I don't know what else to do.
So she has
Come
yet
back to me,
another
Kyle.
significant other person named Kyle. I don't think they'd go so crazy as that she like accidentally transformed herself into a girl and Kyle is her male form. Kyle might be her brother. Let's see. I guess what we could do as a middle ground is let's do the first 9 puzzles. If we run into
Maybe this
trouble,
will help
we'll
me
skip
devise
it.
some new angles for my research.
But we'll show off at least
After
the
all, it's so
pre-built
peaceful here.
decks.
I just need to clear my head.
Dear child, word of your undertakings has reached me. The deeds you try to accomplish, they defy nature's order.
Yeah, it would be questionable how the world works
I don't believe we've met.
if there's both a Havencraft kind of Catholic religion,
you should let go of your despair before it
and
consumes
then there's
you.
also alchemy.
You're very perceptive. But perceptive and persuasive are two different things.
Do you truly wish to go against the order of this world?
I don't care either way.
Your despair may be the key.
What would you know about it?
She has like a completely different symbol compared to the Morning Star symbol. In a funny way, because the Morning Star is in this shape, whatever this Havencraft religion is, it seems to be the right one, or at least a right one. Like, if I saw a Bible verse light up in the night sky, I'd certainly
I guess you're looking for a fight.
take that as a
Liberation is
sign.
at hand.
Let's see. This will invoke from the deck, but not from your hand, if you play a bunch of the Natrian Great Trees. There are a lot of these pre-built decks that are clearly designed to invoke things out of your deck, but they seem like they kind of only invoke one copy of the one thing, so you still have a fairly low chance of
live by the sword.
drastically turning things around. If that's probably something great to say about this game, is that it is really, really good at what is this? Turn this, do 2 damage.
Wait, that's it?
Yeah, I would say Shadowverse is very good about that. Like, I've very rarely, maybe in 2 or 3 games, seen someone been able to buff up a character to do like 15 to 20 damage in one attack. But everything else is working really, really well.
Oh, still and stable earth.
And then put that on the field. The Natrian Great Tree is a card that a lot of things synergize with, but it kind of doesn't do too much. It just draws cards. Let's see. Subtract 1 from the cost of the card for each spell boost that's been played. Well, how many spell boosts does it have? I guess 0 so far. Alright. And then two times per turn. I've got 2 of those already. Draw a card. Spell boost. And then Pyromancer. This does damage to all followers on both sides. Well, let's just take another pyromancer, I guess. Ah, no, actually I should have instead copied that. That would have made a lot more sense.
Healing for all.
But I can already tell this is too slow. Like, even the second game in, it's just too freaking slow. Let's see. Do that. And then take a copy of that. Okay, if I evolve this up, it would be a, I think, 6, 5. So I don't think there's a great move to evolve up there.
Hope will prevail.
Got me feeling hungry.
Healing for all.
See, I'm playing this right, according to the deck, but honestly, this deck may not be in any way the right deck to play. Let's see. What do we want to do? If I draw 2 cards right now, I can't play them, so I need to do something like this first. And then that's going to do 3 damage to something, so we might as well kill this, I guess. And then do this, and then play this, and then turn that again.
Unleash your heat.
And then, so do I want to evolve that?
I embrace all manner of spellcraft.
Am I gonna be able to spell boost the cards in your hand?
You're done for.
Truth and taboo are equal in my eyes. That's
Well,
one way of doing it.
It is his will.
Yeah, this just takes too long. And it really is just easier to sit in silence. Like, unlike when I'm streaming and playing this game, at that point I'm talking about other things, so it doesn't matter what's going on in the game. But if I'm literally gonna just have to focus on
Unleash your heat.
Everybody.
see. See what an extreme carrot is.
The current rises!
And see, here's like a food character that I kind of think he would have more extreme carrots.
It won't be long now.
Vegetables! Stuff your face with this!
Do I want to attack? Or do I want to end my turn? I think the strategy is to kind of end your turn and make them waste their attack to kill you.
Did that satisfy ya?
Even though it seems like normally that wouldn't be the case. see. Destroy an enemy follower? Sure.
This is
Spell
martyrdom.
boost that. And then play this. Spell boost some more. And put that on the field to draw another card.
Mend your ways.
I guess it does make sense
Defeat me.
why you would
but
want to
nothing
play
will
this
change.
great tree over and over again. Because that was spell boosting things and helping somewhat.
I've prevailed again.
But yeah, that just takes way too long. We're just gonna skip everything. Let's just see the story and be done with it. We've still got like 7 other chapters
You're not
after
going to get
this.
in my way.
I can see just how far you are prepared to go. The depth of your love, your sadness. I'm sorry. I had to be sure.
What are you trying to say?
There are those whose despair swallows them, and those whose despair powers them. You are the latter. There are rumors of a girl who lives in the forest southeast of here. They say she can speak with the dead.
With the dead?
I cannot attest to the rumor's truth. There, however, is a chance that the girl has some unknown power.
A chance.
It may seem far-fetched, but the girl inspires fear in all those she meets.
I'll keep that in mind.
So it kind
I
of feels
apologize
like
for being so aggressive.
it kind of
Not
feels
at
like
all.
Eris
I too had to be certain. Please.
is handpicking people full of despair,
I hope I have been of some assistance.
which then how is the vampire full of despair? And yeah, we're still going around in the same map. I think that'll be the case this whole time. So she sends her straight to the necromancer girl.
A girl who can talk to the dead.
But
If there's anything to the rumor, even
they
a
don't
little,
obviously stay together.
she might be able to help me.
Hi, I'm Luna. Want to do something together?
Sure, Luna. I'm Isabel. What do you want to do? What's a little girl doing out here alone? Could she be the one? She doesn't look scary.
You decide. That's a good idea. Thank you, Mother and Father.
Mother and father? There's nobody here. Luna, you're not doing some sort of seance, are you? Be a good girl and tell me how you're doing it. There's someone that I have to talk to. It's very important.
What's a seance?
Your parents are someplace far away now, right?
No, they're right here. You should die like them.
What?
I told you. I'm going to kill you now.
So yeah,
No!
creepy girl.
Don't worry, it'll be fun.
Although there kind of is a misunderstanding here, obviously, that like if she thinks it's fun to die, then why hasn't she just killed herself? And we skip the battle.
I don't want you to kill me, Luna.
And then Luna's
I
a
just
little
need
young,
to know
so
how you're talking with your parents.
yeah,
just
her
talk
getting
with them. It isn't
beaten
hard.
up is not
But they're dead.
particularly
So, I'm glad
ideal.
they're dead. They're going to stay with me forever now. Yes, Mother. We should leave Isabel alone. I'll be fine as long as you're with me.
Luna, please, just listen to me.
Why? You wouldn't understand. You're just as ignorant as that vampire.
This whole story,
What? Ignorant?
though, is
You're
really
not
just
thinking
not
clearly.
going anywhere.
No, wait!
It's just really not going anywhere at all. It's just an excuse for a battle.
Well, if nothing else, that opens up new avenues of inquiry.
Which you could have definitely...
Luna isn't just imagining that vampire. Something would have
you could have
bring it
written
back to life.
Eris
A
better
simple blood sample could reveal volumes about the resurrection process.
to like force her,
just wait
force people to
more,
fight
Kyle.
each other way more. If it were, say, more of a tournament style idea, go with like a tournament anime type story where Eris just teleported and kidnapped everybody and forced them to fight to their death several times until they decided that everybody's had at least one fight with everybody else, which is all they're really trying to do here. Which, again, if I was going to write this, I'd have everybody together and at the start, so maybe you have a diplomatic countrywide tournament where everybody is just challenging each other for like a non-lethal combat, and that could be the first half of the story, and you could do a lot of backstory telling at that point, instead of having everybody starting separately and then ending up at the same place for no real reason.
Is that you?
Isabel, what brings you here of all places?
Like, these two know each other. So is that Kyle? Or is that someone else?
It turned into me!
They're monsters. Don't show them any mercy.
All right.
And in this fight, when it's 2-on-2, they fight the opposite people.
Forgive.
We got him! Shapeshifters. It's been ages since I saw you last, Dragspear. To meet you here, of all places.
Yeah.
Everyone thought that you and he... that you weren't here anymore. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you again. So where have you been?
There's definitely some secret he's hiding.
It's hard to explain.
I can imagine. When it happened, Kyle was on your squad. Do you know how much of the military's report was true?
I'm sorry, Isabel. I've been one sorry excuse for a commander.
And again, we have this
You're not to blame.
example
it's still very raw
just
for you
every
too.
inch of flesh below the neck covered.
This means
and then you
can't
have
be far off either,
fairly
right?
cleavage and legs.
I
would say the artist here
kind of
has his own
back to life,
own fetish with the suspenders and the high
but I have to see him again.
Above the knee
I know.
socks and the
I've
skirt.
been conducting experiments ever since I got word of what happened.
The hairstyles
really
and the hair colors seem to be fairly varied, but there definitely feels like there could have been some different fashion ideas put into this.
It's going to happen.
For instance,
and when it does,
Luna, instead of her being
in
in a kind of like gothic Lolita art fashion style, perhaps you put her in more of a
where did he go?
Younger, age-appropriate outfit, and then Arissa maybe in a more leaf style fashion, like the clothes are made out of leaf or leather, and at the very least made from raw leather. Because they all kind of have the same. They either have a skirt, all the girls do. They either have a skirt or they have a large dress. I think there's room for more variety here.
There's something strange about him.
And then he
seems incredibly strong.
He kind of looks
inhumanly so.
Too close to the
shadows.
Dragspear character.
Uh-oh.
I mean, other than the fact that he has just
Why are you here?
armor on one arm, and then
That I am.
just like full clothing
I'm
here.
not sure exactly how to put this, but I need your help bringing someone back.
I cannot assist you.
No, you have to come with me.
You do not understand the extent of my strength.
Don't think you can brush me off.
His little glowing eyes effect is definitely done well. But here's a fashion thought. He is dressed just immaculately for a vampire, when it would kind of make sense if he was trapped in a coffin that his clothes might have some holes or some cobwebs on them, that they'd be blood-stained, that they'd be dirty and not just perfect. And then you kind of need to follow the color palette somewhat. This dark outfits for the two guys compared to the very bright color outfits for the girls is very disconnected. Like, he could have been in some bright crimson, a bright crimson coat.
This is all for
would
you,
make
Kyle.
more sense.
I allow that you are determined, but that alone will not win you victory. Ha!
Ha!
I told you, I am far stronger than you realize.
But it just
What do you
is
want from me?
so ridiculous. It takes
need
so
to bring
long
someone back
till
to
you
life.
even start to get to the real story.
You're proof that it's possible. I think it may have to do with your blood. You have to let me investigate.
You are delusional. Death can no more be reversed than the hours of the day. Vampires' lives may be longer than those of humans, but they end all the same.
You're lying. There has to be some clue in your blood.
My blood is my own. It is unrelated to my awakening. For that, I must thank some force beyond my ken. Death is eternal. Had I
It's a
died,
funny way
I would
to
not be before
pronounce the word kin.
I'm not going to give up just like that.
you. This grows tedious. You must accept your fate. Farewell.
And see, if Isabel was just chasing after the
Stop!
vampire
This isn't my
from the
fate.
beginning,
My fate
and
is to be with him. I know there's a way.
Erica, the swordsmith, was chasing him from the beginning, and they were just working together as a couple, that would be a much better combined story instead of the two separate stories. And none of this has really anything to do with Larissa being kidnapped in the first story. And if you have time to
getting
go back to
nowhere.
the lab, that's
Kyle.
really bad. Just goes to show how slow this game
This
moves.
evening, he finally comes back. We'll have to take a walk through the gardens at midnight. Odd. It's still early.
You don't get too many sound effects
I'll be right there.
other than sword swinging.
Ma'am, I have an important message from the Royal Army.
And then
Can I help you?
we still have a lot of these
Your fiancé has been attacked by
unimportant
a dragon in the course of duty.
characters that should have been someone else.
This has to be some kind of mistake.
The
Like,
details are
they should have
available
just
in this
used the
report,
art from
should you wish to read it.
one of the many other cards that
He's going
already
to be
exist.
okay, isn't he?
I'm sorry.
No. Please.
Our investigation is still ongoing, but the information we have strongly suggests that your fiancé Kyle is dead.
Dead? Dead? You mean he's not coming back? But why?
And unless in a fit of rage she murdered the
What'll I
soldier,
do without
then
him? Don't go down that road now. You have work to do.
so yeah.
Another one. Get out of my way.
But if she's gonna represent a 7 deadly sin, is she gonna represent lust? And how deep down that path would they really imply that?
Why are you still moving? Just hurry up and die! Oh, finally! I can't allow those beasts to keep interfering with my research. I'll have to take the fight to them.
And who would represent
Their
like
marks
greed?
suggest they nest near the Morning Star.
So we had this whole scene just to be told this is the reason why she went towards the Morning Star, when it would have been way easier to just have a straight chase sequence to the Morning Star, because that's where the vampire was going, I imagine, so she just needed to chase after him. And that would be fairly character building and interesting if it turned out that the vampire, Urias, constantly just ran away from everybody and after a fight, and people just kept on chasing after him.
More of those monsters.
It'd be
What do they
funny if it
want?
turns out that these monsters get
This has to be
burned
the
by
right
the
path.
Morning Star, and they're not actually created by them. They just have that marking either because they put it on their own chest as a symbol, or because the Morning Star itself like burns that into their flesh.
Huh? Wait up! What's that girl doing here?
And see, this is like chapter 8 or
You there.
9 when
Are
you
you
get to
hurt?
this point, when this
I'm
really
okay,
should have
thank you.
been chapter 2 or 3.
It changed form again. Stay back.
No, I can help fight them.
That's a big help. You take half.
Got it.
And I don't think Shadowverse would have worked had they launched the game with only like 4 leaders and then slowly added leaders. I think 7 or 8 of them is about the minimum you could do. And maybe
That was impressive.
maybe Shadowverse would be improved
Thank
if they
you.
did add
I've been getting a lot
a
of
new
practice.
leader class.
I'm Arisa.
But that would be
Can I ask
hard to add, and Hearthstone
name's
recently
Isabel.
did that,
Good
but
to
they
meet
took
you.
way too long
Do
to
you
pull
have
that
any idea
off,
what
and they
those things
probably
are?
shouldn't have done it in the first
I'm
place.
sorry, but I don't know much either. They just showed up and
And?
they took my friend.
Oh, that's horrible.
I guess she
I'm
does
sorry
have
to hear
leather
that.
boots and leather gloves, so they
What are
did
you
kind of
going to
think of
do?
that. But I would
I'm
think
going to find her.
you might have more tree
like to
bark
help you,
or
but I'm busy
leaves,
with a
or at
mission
least
of my own.
green to blend in with the
I
forest
can handle this.
as an
I
elf
need to do
character.
this myself.
And maybe
I'm
not the
sorry, I wish I
long
could do more
flowing
for you.
hair on
No, it's no problem.
the elf character.
Good luck on your mission.
You'd better
Long
hurry,
flowing hair,
for your
which
friend's sake and your own.
apparently seems to be
Thank
going
you,
just on
Isabel.
either side of a very long flowing cape, which is probably too much
You're lucky
at
to
that
still be
point.
in the same world as them.
And these long, like
I
gray
hope you succeed.
parts are probably a little too much too. Yeah, overall, there's a little too much detail in the fashion. That they could have dropped some things and made some other things more important. See, that's 7 of like 15, so you get to the halfway point. And then, yep, it's definitely would have been nicer if we
Those
could have just
creatures should have been
downloaded
here.
all the audio immediately, but I guess it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about the dragon. But I kind of assumed that the dragon
That dragon!
is just summoned by the Dragoncraft guy.
Our investigation is still ongoing, but the information we have strongly suggests that your fiancé Kyle is dead.
Maybe Kyle got turned into a dragon.
That's the one. That's the one that killed Kyle. What? Dragspear? So where have you been? When it happened, Kyle was on your squad. Do you know how much of the military's report was true?
So Dragspear turns
sorry,
into a
Isabel.
dragon,
I've been one
maybe
sorry excuse
loses
for a commander.
loses control and killed his own men.
Are you the one who did it?
Isabel, what are you doing here?
Tell me, did you kill Kyle?
Please hear me out.
Dragspear!
Isabel, we were attacked. I tried to save him.
You killed him, didn't you?
It was an accident.
You monster!
No, Isabel, wait!
You're going to pay for this!
So he accidentally killed his friend, okay. So we're getting his backstory as much as we're getting her backstory. Which again, why not put her and her, him and her together?
You stole him from me! This is all your fault! You're a dead man!
Isabel!
See,
What?
a thing I would put here with this animation too is because there's so much detail in like his armor and pretty much all their outfits, it makes it extremely difficult at a certain point to try to redraw the leaders and make a new angle or image. Whereas if they had toned down the detail quite a bit, that would have left them a lot of room. That's probably why this one animation in part is so small and short. But even like, see what that is animated that way, and then just look at the incredible, ridiculous amount of extra garbage that is visually on the screen here.
The Infinity Gate hath opened. Offer up
It's
thy
just
woes,
way
and
too
the light
much.
shall be as thine eyes and thy flesh.
Just lose everything except for her in a white dress and the red flaming arm, and maybe give her a weapon, maybe put a little bit of color in the dress,
Fear not.
or detail in the dress, but that's about it.
Pain is forgotten.
Isabel. Isabel.
Kyle? It's you!
So it feels like Isabel would not be able to escape this dream sequence, if I were to guess. Since her only defining characteristic we've seen has been to try to get back with Kyle. I'm really questioning whether it actually was downloading
So bright.
that, but the small amount of download it needs to do doesn't really wouldn't even mess up my system. My downloads are fast enough to download a meg in a second.
It's all well and good to be passionate about your research, but don't overdo it.
For a second there, I thought they weren't going to show his face at all.
Kyle? Kyle? Is that you? It's you.
Now, wait a minute. Is Kyle the portal craft guy?
Maybe I did. You mean he's not coming back? No, please.
Like, it feels like there should be a leader skin to look like this. Either to play
I'm here now, Isabel.
Play
Don't worry.
as her.
Oh, Kyle! It was all a dream. All of it. I'm so lucky.
Play as Kyle instead of her, or
That
play
sound.
as him instead
Isabel.
of the Portalcraft
What's going on?
leader.
Kyle Walker! You're being apprehended as a traitor to the crown!
So,
Damn it! They tracked me down quick.
I don't get this.
Don't resist or you're as good as dead!
Kyle, what's going on?
If her desire is to
Sorry, Isabel.
just be with Kyle,
This is the end of the road for me.
and she's not going to question
Run away
it,
while you still can.
and
No, never. I'll never leave your side.
like, why have the dream work this way?
Man is a wanted felon! Keep it up and you're in for some punishment of your own.
Punishment. That doesn't scare me. Not as long as I'm together with Kyle. Your enemies are my enemies. I'll scatter them with a spell or two.
Yeah. And in the world of magic, you would hope that these soldiers had some kind of anti-magic abilities, or armor or shields or something. But apparently, they kind of don't. Yep. It really makes no sense. Whoever's making these dreams is just completely incompetent. She would have happily stayed with Kyle forever.
You won't lay another finger on him.
And it doesn't really prove anything in this
Isabel.
that Kyle might have actually been a traitor. There's
Kyle?
no actual evidence that that is the case.
Sorry. I shouldn't have gotten you involved in any of this.
It's fine. I know you'll explain why later.
I will, Isabel. But for now, we need to get moving. Reinforcements are
I
probably
will
coming
say
this way.
Kyle should have been the Dragoncraft guy, though. He looks way more in line with the art style
I'll look after you.
than the Dragoncraft guy
Very
who's just
funny,
covered
Isabel.
in armor.
You just about took the words from my mouth.
Huh?
We're both in hot water now. A whole hell of a lot more than we were before. I'm going to look after you, Isabel. Just trust me. Stay by my side.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not scared of any crime or punishment. Not as long as I'm with you. I'll follow you to the ends of the earth.
So yeah, they're a regular Bonnie and Clyde, basically. But what is the implication here? That there's going to be some subconscious desire that she had to run away with him and become a criminal? Like, that doesn't quite lock into the other stories where there was some major despair. Yeah, it just feels like bad writing.
We should be safe here.
Yeah. No sign of anyone on our trail yet.
Can we talk for a minute, Kyle? About what happened to you?
Yeah. So, the reason I've been away so long, it's this mission. It's straight from the Crown. They've got us trying to slay this humongous dragon.
Slay a dragon? There's no telling what could have happened to you.
It was hell. We went in thinking we'd make the dragon squeal, but I ended up hearing the screams of my dying comrades instead. I thought I was going to die. I had to come back to see you again. I just had to. Even if it went against the orders of the Crown.
Kyle. You needed me, Kyle. And I can finally feel your warmth again. But still...
So I left the battlefield behind.
So maybe her desire was to be needed
No,
by
I was
Kyle?
more loyal and dedicated than you, Kyle. But you ran away.
It's pathetic, I know.
It's fine, Kyle. You chose me over your comrades. Not even a hero like you had a choice in a situation like that.
Oh, she had a desire to be the
Dragons, missions, the state.
pick,
None of that
the
matters
number
anymore.
one pick in his
You're
heart.
here, and that's the only thing I care about.
To
Thank you. I'm sorry I hid so much from you, Isabel.
and I guess that would make more
never wanna
sense
leave
in
your
the
side again.
Japanese sense
And
of
don't ever leave me.
abandoning
Not
your
ever
duty in favor of love. And we've got these pointless royal sorcerers.
They can try to tear us
Again.
apart, but I won't let them.
I'm a little surprised we didn't fight a sorcerer in the Orisa run of challenges. But instead we fought wolves.
You worthless traitors!
Of course, it would have been better to be attacked by a wolf if
They
they're
won't be
going to be
bothering
in
us
the
anymore.
forest anyways.
Are you hurt, Isabel?
No. What about you, Kyle?
Apparently this is a world that
Isabel,
doesn't
your
really
cheek is
have
bleeding.
shields.
This? It's just a scratch. Don't worry about
Because, like, everybody's
What are you
wearing
saying? We've gotta
arm
get you patched
guards
up.
and armor, but I've not seen a single person
Really?
hold
You're
a
making
shield.
a big deal out of nothing.
Nothing? I can't let anything happen to that beautiful face of yours.
But and there might be a good
Beautiful.
strategy for a character that
I can feel his breath.
is all about building up
I'm sorry,
defense.
Isabel. It's my
Although
fault.
maybe that would ruin how
It
these
isn't.
games play.
I just let my guard down for a moment.
I'm the one to blame. I wasn't able to protect you. No matter how far we run, you'll be the one who gets hurt.
It's okay, Kyle. I don't mind getting hurt if it's for you.
Well, I do mind. I felt like we could go anywhere together.
In a funny way, this is probably the best writing so far.
I'm going to fix things, Isabel. I'll go to those soldiers' commanding officer and explain everything. There's a good chance he'll hear me out.
Fine, Kyle. But I'm going to.
Are you sure?
I couldn't be more sure. Do you think I'd let you leave me here?
Thanks. It'll be good to have you at my side.
Me too. There's no place I'd rather be.
It would be kind of funny if it turns out that her true desire is just to die with Kyle, and the dream fulfills that, and she straight up gets executed with him. I'm not sure if we're ever gonna make it all the way to this church area. Seems like here is the alchemy lab and here is the church area, but there's been no battles near there. And maybe this is the church area that we're saying, so maybe there's a different church area. And this is... well, maybe none of it represents anything, actually. It might be that they're just, in general, kind of using things to represent things. And they're being inconsistent, really, as to what area is what. Might be nice if there was some writing on the map to just
I'm glad you're
show
here with me, Isabel.
what place is where, so we could
Where did that come from?
learn
If I
the
was alone
world.
right now, I wouldn't be getting anywhere.
Not that it really
I'd just be
matters
running in circles.
until... unless
Me
the
too.
card game
I
itself
feel stronger when we're
started to
together.
make references to other parts
I
of the
love you,
world.
Isabel.
But
You're
there's
all I think
been
about.
0 buildings in the entire
Really?
game
Come
that
on.
I've seen. It's just
Hey,
been
it's the truth.
artifacts and creatures and followers.
What's that noise?
I found them! Give yourselves up, traitors!
There's no need for violence. Just take me to your commanding officer. I need to talk with him.
Talk! Talk! What makes you think you've got the right? You've committed treason. And we're going to make you pay with your life.
They're not interested in listening.
Again, this
Looks
is
like there's only one
a
option
weird
left.
country. The way that they
Well, I can
work,
tell
they
us
send
stories one way or
assassins to
another.
kill traitors
Stand
in
back.
secret.
My
They
magic's going to hurt.
They send soldiers to kill the assassins who killed the traitors in secret, instead of keeping the assassins for the next time they need to kill people. There seems to be basically no justice system at all, even to the point where the king, queen, princess, whoever, whoever's
where
in
he is.
charge doesn't even
Don't make
seem
us get
to
any rougher with you.
want to make sure they
Tell a
executed.
couple of traitors like you?
Now
They
would be
don't
a
even want to
perfect time for you
make
to
sure
reconsider.
they're executed
All right.
accurately.
Our commander's off in that direction.
Thanks for your cooperation. Now sleep tight. We should get moving, Isabel.
All right. Kyle, this will all blow over, won't it? And the commander will listen to what you say?
How could he not? I had to go home to be together with the most important woman in the world.
What's funny is if it turned out
Kyle,
this
I'm not a
Shadow
traitor, am I?
is evil and he kills
Am
the
I, Isabel?
commanding officer.
no, you are not a traitor. I don't know what it is, but something seems wrong. Kyle doesn't seem like himself.
Isabel, you're zoning out. Are you tired?
So she's
No,
starting to
I'm
question him.
I've got more than enough magic to work with. It's all in my head. How could it not be?
Okay then. But don't push yourself too hard.
I won't. You're so
And
sweet.
it seems like these dreams don't really take that long.
Time to put an end to this.
It seems like people are trapped in the Morning Star for only a few minutes at most. Although we may find out later in the story that every leader has been trapped in the Morning Star for like hundreds of years. That would at least have the leaders in a kind of different world when they came out, and would be the beginning of an adventure. Let's see.
Maybe this isn't exactly the best time, but I was thinking,
Yeah? What is it, Kyle?
if this all of it goes off without a hitch, what do you say we get married right away? I'll get discharged from the army and find a job where you don't have to worry so much. What do you think?
You're going to ask for a discharge?
Yeah, you could relax then, couldn't you?
I could, but what about your comrades? I thought they meant everything to you. Are you really going to put me before them?
Of course. Nothing matters to me as much as you do.
Thank you, Kyle.
So I
should be
guess
happy. So why do I feel this way?
I guess her 7 deadly
Sad
sin was
and
selfishness. Selfishness
Isabel,
of the
that's him over there.
attentions of Kyle.
That's their commanding officer.
She wanted him all to herself.
You! If it isn't the traitors of the hour!
You'd
No,
think the commander
I had
would
no
have a
intention of betraying
different
the crown. I had
different
to get back to see
outfit.
the woman I love.
Just do like
That's
a
it.
color change or something.
What makes you think I'd believe anything a sniveling traitor like you has to say?
Please, just listen. I'm begging you.
Enough! Death to all traitors!
Damn it, this guy's full of himself. Guess we'll have to take him down a notch.
I guess so. What's going on? The closer I get to Kyle, the less he seems like the person I knew. Maybe I'm acting strange because I'm so happy about the wedding. Or maybe it's him who's acting strange.
Of course, it's also weird that if Kyle's wearing this outfit and he's in the army, why is everybody else wearing the very standardized outfit? Of course, it would look even worse if this character was also over here.
I'm not trying to betray the crown, but there was something more important to me. That's it.
Really, Kyle? Really?
She means everything to me. More than my comrades and more than the crown.
No, that's not right. Kyle wouldn't say anything like that. Are you shipping out again, Kyle? It's dangerous. You could die.
Sorry, Isabel, but my comrades are fighting out there. I need to be there with them.
Kyle cared about his comrades more than anything. More than my wishes and more than life itself. I was always so sad, so hurt, so lonely when he left me for the battlefield.
Yeah, oddly,
But he
this
loved
is the
fighting
best
for a
story,
cause.
and it's still not that
I
great.
was so proud. And he's not the same person anymore.
I'm done with the army. So leave me and Isabel alone. We've got a lifetime of happiness ahead.
Fine then. Do what you will. I'll have my subordinates take care of the matter.
Thank you! We did it, Isabel! We did it!
We did it!
I don't know what he
Well, we
means
can
by
be
I'll have my
together forever,
subordinates
Kyle.
take care of the matter.
You mean he's not coming back?
I don't want to fight you.
You stole him from me. This is all your fault. You're a dead man. Was that vision a dream? Or is this the dream?
It's all done with now, Isabel. Let's go back home.
Yeah, let's go home. I don't get it, but that's fine. I don't need to get it.
I won't leave your side
Yeah, I'm
anymore,
not seeing
Isabel.
when she's
I'm
why
going to
she
stay
would
with you.
not
He's the
just
only
continue
thing
to
that's real
accept
me
this.
anymore. You and I will always be together. Always.
And then you kind of run into this problem where the Morning Star's magic seems to trump every other character's magic 100% of the time. So then how are any of the leaders going to be able to defeat the Morning Star or Nexus or whoever's running them, the Morning Star, at that rate? It seems like it's all powerful, although it seems also incredibly stupid. Because once again, this whole dream would have worked perfectly fine if he just came home and said,
But it should all be fine now that
they
we're
have
here
retired
together.
me. I took an arrow to the knee, and I'm retired
Is
now.
this her dream? Then where is she?
Is that you, Dragspear? What are you doing here?
This is different. Dragspear is going to
Commander, you didn't come looking for me, did you?
is gonna
Oh,
free
it's
her.
Kyle.
Why are you looking at him like that? You can tell too, can't you? Would you mind leaving us alone? We're happy now.
Yeah, come on, Commander.
Say something, Dragspear.
I still hate that it makes a little
You're really happy now, aren't you,
noise
Isabel?
every time it clicks forward.
Of course I am.
But he's a fake. There's no way you can be happy now. I stole your happiness from you.
Quit it already. What are you saying? This isn't funny.
I stole your happiness, and now I'm about to rob you of the past you're clinging to. Live for the future, Isabel.
So I guess maybe Dragspear's dragon power
Isabel!
is strong enough to defeat these dreams.
Kyle? Kyle! He's gone. He vanished into thin air. I should have known.
If you want to fight, I'm ready.
Maybe that Kyle was a fake. But still. Why? Why? What are you doing?
Having a fight
sorry.
inside the Morning
This
Star.
was the only thing I could do.
You only wanted to be together with Kyle. It didn't matter if it was all an illusion. So why do you have to steal him from me? Not once, but 2 times!
What I did was a crime, and I'm not going to turn my eyes from it any longer.
Not going to turn your eyes. Then see this. My sadness and my rage.
So maybe they have a fight inside the Morning Star,
Does
and
it
that's
hurt?
why
Are you
people,
suffering?
everyone
I
escaped.
hope you suffer like he did. It's starting to come back to me. What this place is. And what I came to do.
I know that I hurt Kyle and made him suffer. Kyle, who'd always fought alongside me, I killed him. And he's not coming back. Never! Admit it to yourself, Isabel.
Don't you think I know? I tried everything in my power, but he didn't come back. Why else would I be happy with this illusion? The last thing that I need is you rubbing it in.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle is still
And it's
alive,
the
and that's
reason
why
I
she
hate
couldn't
you.
bring him back to life.
Then do something about your hate and start living your life again. I know that Kyle would want it that way.
Don't you tell me what Kyle would want. If it weren't for you, I'd be happy right now. Pay, Rowan! Pay with your life!
It might very well be the case that this isn't actually trying to be one of the 7 deadly sins, but instead is trying to be just negative emotions in general.
No. This isn't the right way. Move on, Isabel.
Is this the
Don't
real
look
Kyle?
back.
What's going on? Why is Kyle's spirit protecting me?
That didn't seem like an illusion. It wasn't. That much I know. That was Kyle. The real Kyle.
So it seems like Dragon Spear is
That's you, Kyle,
suicidal, somewhat.
isn't it? I saw him. I just saw him. I'm sure that was him. Wasn't it?
Isabel.
If that was really you, Kyle, answer me. What do I do?
Isabel, Kyle is...
Stop, Rowan. I already know. I don't want to hear it! I only want to hear his words. Kyle's words.
So, as a dragon, did he eat Kyle and absorb his spirit somehow? Is that the idea? I don't think we're gonna get a answer here, and well, it's not gonna be a very satisfactory answer because this is the end of the story for now. And I guess for all the leaders, they're kind of left hanging on a cliffhanger.
He and I were out on the borderlands on orders to kill a black dragon. We lost a lot of good soldiers out there. And we killed the dragon. But not before it cursed me.
Cursed you? Was that why you turned into that black dragon?
Whenever I try to protect someone, I become a dragon.
Doesn't sound like much of a curse.
Until I kill, until I destroy.
So that's why, Dragspear. That's why. You're saying you killed Kyle because of the curse. The curse is to blame, not you. Is that what you're trying to say?
Listen, I have no intention of making excuses. Kyle was my subordinate,
And then
but he was
this
also
spear
my
is
friend.
just like clipped at the
Last
top
thing in
here,
the
so
world I wanted
you kind
was
of
to
can
take his
tell
life.
that if they had just
That much I
scaled him
believe.
down
I know
to
that's not who
be
you are.
shorter,
Kyle himself
this
vouched
would have
for
worked
you.
better.
Dragspear, I want to kill you.
Or just eliminate
But I
the
won't.
spear
Kyle protected you.
completely.
I saw that
Or
with my own eyes.
eliminate parts of the
It wasn't
spear.
an illusion. It was him.
Which definitely makes me feel like this is not
Do you think I'm pathetic?
original
A
art.
pathetic woman living in a dream?
I'm not sure
No,
any of this is original
saw him
art
too.
as far as the leaders.
Isabel, it's
But then it
time
would be
to
very
move
weird
on.
if all the cards
That's
weren't
what
original
he would've-
art.
I know. It's time for this dream to end.
So I don't know
It
why they
seems
wouldn't
that you two are unable to find serenity
wouldn't at some point fix that.
You
She's just
again.
like in the
This was all
background.
your doing, wasn't it?
He's so big, he's
Wait.
just
If we're
totally
inside
in
the
the way.
Morning Star now, then what's happening to the world out there?
The world is awaiting the hour of liberation. When it arrives, the almighty Nexus shall extinguish all humankind.
Yeah,
Extinguish?
we've already heard this.
That would set me free. But I have to go. It's not what Kyle would have wanted. He was so kind. Kind enough to protect Dragspear.
I don't care if I
Long
disappear,
hair again.
but Rachel and Natalie,
So it's long hair, long hair,
nothing's going
long
to
hair.
happen to them.
I don't know who Rachel or
If
Natalie
it is
is.
sorrow you seek, then you must pass through me.
We still haven't
the
even
keeper
heard
of the dream.
that story.
What is that?
Proceed in that direction through the chasm. Outside awaits the world of sorrow that you seek.
Yeah.
And she just lets them.
sorrow. A world without Kyle is nothing but sorrow for me.
She just lets them all go.
Still.
Sorrow? That's
So
nothing.
I wonder if maybe
leaving
this was
anyway.
all part of the plan.
So it is.
Like if the plan was to trap
Go ahead,
these people
Dragspear.
into
I
the
wanna stay
Morning
here for
Star
just a little longer.
and then
All right.
have them experience these terrible dreams and learn like a lesson and make them stronger fighters for some reason.
This isn't my lab, is it? How could I not have picked up on the differences? Kyle? You're there, aren't you?
Right here. I told you I wasn't going anywhere.
Okay. I don't care if the world disappears, Kyle. It doesn't mean anything to me without you.
I know.
But I know how sad you'd be if it disappeared.
Hmm.
That's the one thing I don't want. And you told me to move on. So that's what I'm going to do.
All right. Well, I won't say anything if your mind's made up. We'll see each other again.
And this is a fake by the animation in which it appeared and disappeared.
There won't be any Kyle on the other side. The world I wanted is gone. But I'll do what he asked.
It pretty much sucks that the best written story so far has been just a bummer story. And all the stories have been pretty much bummer stories. Where there would have been room to just have some high adventure at the beginning and not have a overwhelming threat start the whole story off that way. I mean, you really could have gone like all the way, I would say, up to chapter 12 and just had us running around taking contracts, fighting monsters, gaining rewards for fighting the monsters. That would have worked fairly well. Let's see. So now I'll have to play this off screen to get all of that done, and then the next one we have is Dragspear, which I already know most of that story. Luna is a bit of a mystery so far. Urias is a bit of a mystery. Eris is a bit of a mystery. And yeah, this is Kyle. This totally looks like Kyle, if I was to guess. I mean, it would kind of suck if it wasn't Kyle, because that's just better storytelling. Let's see. I come back home and we come over here. Yeah, okay. The best way to do this is here. So yeah, you have Arissa here with a sword she never uses, and what is probably a box of bows, which she doesn't really need. And then she has super long hair and a super long cape, which I would say get rid of the long hair and get rid of the fabric element and go with more of a natural leather or just made of leaves design, since she is the Forestcraft character. Then you have Erica here, and her outfit is just insane. It kind of feels like it's trying to be Japanese, but it just has way too many ruffles. It has a short skirt. I remember it had leggings and suspenders. It's got these bows. So if you're going to go with the Japanese thing, short hair and black hair makes sense, but get rid of the cleavage element, or get rid of a lot of the armor and a lot of the corset, tight waist. Tight waist is not super tight on Arissa, but it's fairly common. And then Isabella, long hair again with highlights, and then just way too much on the clothes. And then Rowan himself is just straight up all armor. No reason for that at all. You could have easily scaled them down and lost half of them. I would have much preferred that Kyle and his art style be the character you play as instead of Rowan. The frilly big dress here probably should be straight black instead of purplish, and maybe you lose the sheep doll, and maybe you lose the hair, the hats for hair twin tail buns. I don't even know what that is. There's just a lot going on here, where I kind of would say maybe she should go a little bit more, since she's younger, less dressed up, in the sense that no kid is really going to want to wear a frilly collar and a ribbon and big puffy things like that. This is something a princess would be forced to wear, whereas I would expect her to be kind of just a little bit more plain without it getting too too plain. Again, his outfit is just immaculate when there's a lot of room here where his outfit could be torn and blood-stained, and it could have more bits of red in it, definitely as a vampire. And you'd lose the arm, the armor on the arm. That's not necessary. Again, you have long hair. She also has long hair, it's just that they are in twin ponytails. Her outfit is probably what a Japanese animator thinks would be conservative, in the sense that only her hands are exposed and she's got this long frilly dress, but there's still kind of an emphasis with this, I don't know what you would call that, this fabric on top of the shirt to then accentuate the contours of the breast, and then having a kind of corset design at least around her waist, and again it's a tiny waist to again accentuate the breasts, where you really wouldn't have that. If anything, you would want to have just like a big cross and focus on that, or a big crown, but then the big crown and the cross, and then designs on this fabric, and then like crown designs on the sleeves are a little crazy. I kind of like them, but I would lose the rest of it and just have them as armbands. And then the dress being long and flowing actually is different from all the other short dresses, so I'd stick with that. But I'd probably chop her hair so it's not super long. And then Ewan here doesn't have that much design to him. So his design is actually fairly good. He's sneaky, obviously, by the looks of him. He's got glowing magic. He's got glowing crystals in him, which again indicates to me he's the bad guy. And then he's got a coat, and he's got a big amulet that's probably way too big. They probably should scale that down. But from everything else I can see on him, he's fairly well. Maybe you get rid of the glove. Maybe that's a little too much. But if we were to see what we could buy as far as leaders, are any of these outfits potentially, from what I can see, better? A flaming red sword kind of adds some different color to this outfit, but it doesn't seem like it's much different. And then as far as his outfit looks, it looks exactly the same. As far as his outfit looks, it looks exactly the same. So as for the 4th anniversary set, I'm not seeing anything. If you want to pay the premium currency to be able to completely change the look of some of the characters, so the Runecraft character would look like this. Not a terrible option. Luna would be replaced with this, I believe. The vampire would be replaced with this. Not a bad idea. Eris would be replaced with this, and then Yoan would be replaced with this Fox character. That one makes the least amount of sense. And then this character seems like they can be played as anybody for any hero, which ideally you'd kind of want that for all of these custom things. This is a replacement for Orisa. That's not too bad. This is a replacement for Eris. That's not too bad. These are actually great examples of what I'm talking about. It's just toned down a little bit. Not every single piece of fabric has to have a detail on it. Even here, where there is quite a lot of detail, it's still way less than what we often see. This would replace the elf, and that might work. This would replace anybody. Yep. It really seems almost intentional that the default leader characters look way worse than anything you can buy otherwise. Now, I think you'd be fairly weird to buy the Street Fighter set. But, yeah. If you did, then you could replace all your heroes with Street Fighter characters. And then these animations are kind of out of line from the rest of the animations. Although I would be willing to buy this. And that's only 500 rupees, which actually is probably quite a lot, but it is something to think about there. So I could get rid of Urias as the leader, at least when I'm playing multiplayer. But also, in all fairness, like this animation and this animation really don't connect to this animation, don't really connect to that animation, and they definitely don't connect to these. These feel like straight up Dungeons and Dragons styles of animations. And if we were to buy cards, do we have anything more to buy? Probably not. If I can find the right place to go. Let's see, buy packs. Do I have any tickets at all? I bet I don't. And these are the ones that have been rotated out, so like the only ones I would have would be classic packs in the first place. Alright, we have one pack is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do one pack, and that's just it. Still not really sure what I'm looking for, but if I start limiting myself down to just opening one pack, at least I'll look at the cards and not immediately lose interest, which has been a problem, certainly. So, we got Dark Summons, deals 3 damage to an enemy follower. If Wrath is activated, recover 2 play points. We have Winged Courier, which I think we already had a copy of that. We have Reclusive Ponderer, which I believe we already had a copy of that. And we have Ghostly Maid. I really wish that there was a better way to get the art here. I mean, this is not bad. This is way better than Magic Arena or Hearthstone ever let you zoom in on a card. But it would be really, really nice if you could get a completely frameless version of the art, which I imagine that exists somewhere, although maybe it doesn't exist in the game itself. But yeah, that's not too bad. I am wondering if they credit the artist. I guess they don't. Be interesting to go look through the credits and find out how many artists are on the team. But then you also have things like this, where this is the Holy Bright Altar, and apparently it's a unicorn and a lion in the background, and then there's an altar, and then there's someone praying in front of it. But you have to be rather zoomed in to tell what that is, because it's a little hard to look at. And you have an animated one here that's a little bright because it gets brighter and then it gets dimmer and then it gets brighter again. Pure Shot Angel, I'm fairly certain I have that too. Although some of these cards I've been playing, and I do think they're actually fairly good. And then this would be the last one we got, which again doesn't look terrible. See, and that just opens the web browser. It's just such a big commitment. Such a big commitment. Well, next recording we'll skip through the next chapter. Well, the next leaders section of chapter 1. And we'll continue to just get through all the story. And I'll probably play a little bit off screen too. that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.